Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to my messy garage in here. I usually do this in my motorcycle room, but that is also messy. And I'm building my other 82 Suzuki in there, so there's pieces everywhere. Anyways, we're gonna conduct this video in my messy garage. But hey, so I just bought this 2012 Triumph T100 yesterday from Carmel, Indiana. It has around 9,000 miles on it, 8,800. And usually when I get a used bike, what I do is I just do a whole full complete service on it. Today we're just gonna focus on the oil change. This is not the liquid cool model. This is going to be the air cooled engine. It does have an oil cooler right here as well. But for starters, a couple things that you're gonna need. All right, 4 quarts of oil. The manual says 10 weight 40, or it also says 15 weight 50. And I read online on the forums that 10 weight 50 would be the best one to get if you're doing like stop and go, which I'm gonna be riding this around stop and go traffic in the city and whatnot. I am in a cooler area in Indiana, but for the most part, I do a lot of stop and go on this bike at least. All right, you're gonna need an air filter, Canon 2041. I got these, gonna need some spares, but a crush washer, you're gonna have to change your crush washer on your oil drain plug. You're gonna need a 13 millimeter ratchet. All right, some gloves, possibly an oil filter wrench, but it should be by hand, but we'll see. All right, and then most importantly here is we have this little concoction I rigged up. It's a giant washer with some duct tape so that it doesn't mar the oil cap. The oil cap right here was on super duper tight, and before I wanted to create this video, I wanted to make sure I can get it off without embarrassing myself. So they say you could use a coin. I found this giant washer in my leftover bits. Put some duct tape on there so I don't mar this up. It looks like it was slightly marred from the previous owner. And then this for a grip, okay? All right. You're gonna also need something to put the oil in, some dirty rags, possibly some of this. All right, and some other rags as well. All right, but first thing you're gonna do, you wanna go ahead and you wanna start the bike and let the engine run for about 5 minutes to get the oil going. All right, and you're gonna let it cool per the manual 3 minutes. All right, so it's not super hot when it comes out. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. Yep. All right, so first things first, we are going to remove this oil drain plug. Right. All right, it's kind of black, but it looks good. I don't see any silvery bits in there. All right, now that you got the drain plug off, you want to go ahead and screw off your filter. Kind of making a big mess here, but we'll clean it up. Yeah, there's the oil. Just make sure this comes off with the old one, this rubber seal right here. When we put on the new one already has a rubber seal in it. The new one will fill up with oil. We'll put a little bit of oil around it so it has a good bond, and then we'll screw it back on. All right, next up we're gonna do the oil filter. So we're gonna put a little bit of oil, we're gonna smear it around here. We can use the old oil for this one, so I'm gonna put a dab on my finger, put it around like this. Bear with me as I open this. All right, we're gonna fill this new one up like this. All right, so we filled it up. All right, yeah, we could have just used the new oil. We didn't have to use the old oil. I'm gonna go ahead and screw it on here. All right, I'm gonna take this new crush washer here and put it on here, and we're gonna put it on the bike. Then we're gonna put the oil filter on, and then I'm gonna take a torque wrench on this at the very end, okay? All right, as mentioned, we're gonna use 10 weight 50. All right, I'm gonna do 3 of these, and then from there, we're gonna check. I'll do 3 and some change, and we'll check in a second here. Last one here. So it said 3.8, so we're gonna go right around here. right? So essentially it's going to be down to 200, obviously, and then we're gonna check. All right, so I don't know if you guys can see this or not. We're right around here. We're a little bit above it, but we're gonna double check. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to look in the sight glass right here. All right, so it looks like we are good, but obviously we can't go off that. We have to run the engine first and let it get within the body of the engine, and then we'll double check, okay? All right, so go ahead and put the cap on here. I'm gonna put it on too tight, just whatever. Oh, before I even start it and continue real quick, I'm just gonna take out my torque wrench and I'm gonna go ahead and torque down that bolt. All right, so we have our torque wrench here. We're gonna go ahead and set it to 18 foot-pounds. It'll be 25 Newton meters, but we're in America, so we're gonna use 18 foot-pounds. I know we're working on a Triumph, right? So we're gonna go ahead and make sure it's torqued down. All right, we're gonna go ahead and start it up, and we're gonna go ahead and let it run. All right, we're gonna check the sight glass right here. All right, so pull it carefully. All right, obviously don't drop your bike. Here it is right there. Is the middle slightly higher, but it is good. Hey, thanks for watching. Hope this helped a little bit. It's my first time doing this, as I mentioned before, for this bike, not my other bike. So it was a little sloppy, but hopefully this helped you somewhat. Thank you. Bye.